food duty?
Yes, I am. Kitchen.
Get out of that food.
Thank you. He was pretty concerned about
Yeah.
your morning.
How are you doing?
Right straight through that way now. Just go straight through there. Okay, let's see everybody. Good. Just come in here. So, sign that all later. He's probably with you over. Good stuff here. You got that room for him? No.
Just go straight on there. Which one is it? 5. Needs to be louder. I would go louder.
Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe God, believe also me. In my Father's house, I have not said. I am going to prepare a place. If I go to prepare a place, I will come and I will take you to myself where I am. When we come to the Sabbath, we also want to share this. You go to church and stuff, you truly believe that is the gift of God. For me, it's a privilege to be here after knowing this man. All the other days, they also did next Becky Ehlers. Would you pray with me, please? Gracious God, we come here today and we lift up this special person. We know she has spent so much in our lives. Her love, her care. I've always seen them together. I over so many years. And say we come to lift up her life with that love, care, outreach, sharing your love in Christ like you. We're so sorry. She always was giving you help. That's the greatest testament of faith. And so as we come together, we lift her to you, ask you to be with us now, ask that your never-ending grace, your comfort, and ask you to be with Lyle, Lindsay, and kids, their families, just beautiful lives. Everybody that is touched their life, especially. These blessings that they have. Before we have a special song, I wanted to share one more verse here. And I have 2 verses that I'm going to share. So these verses that I share now are from Matthew chapter 11. We'll have a special song as well. Come to me, all all who are weary. I will give you peace. Take my yoke upon you. I am gentle. You will find rest in your souls. I will be ceasing.
And whatever happened to Tuesday is so slow. Going down the old man, transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind a rainbow wall. Slipping and sliding all along the one I was born with you. My bride girl. We used to sing, so hard to find my way. Now that I'm all on my own, I saw you just the other day. Man, you have grown. Can't remember me back there, Lord. Sometimes I will come thinking about it. Make a love in the green grass. Behind the staying young with you. My bride girl. And you, my bride girl. Do you remember when we used to sing?
I would like to share just two more verses. These are the ones of family, as we talked the other day. We had such a nice visit, and these are two that tell us not to worry, but to just place our trust in God's hands. And then I want to share a little bit about Becky. The first is Isaiah 41, and it speaks of not being afraid. Don't be afraid, for I'm with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God, and I will strengthen you, and I will help you. And the second one is a short one too, but it is 1 Peter 5:7. Give all your worries and all your cares to God, for he cares about you. He cares about you. And this is God's promise today for us. It's kind of hard to be up here. I have to be honest. I've known the family all my life, and when I went the other day, we had some tears and a little struggles to share some things, but we had a lot of laughs, didn't we? We did, and I think I told you 30, 40 minutes, and like usual, I was there for about 2 hours, and so that's just Dave Hobbs. But I came and we talked, and we knew that your mom probably wanted a shorter service, just 30 minutes, because she wouldn't want us to be sad. We talked about this. And I think as I look out and I see oh my gosh, all the people here. She knew everybody, Russell, Sheraton, Norwood, Lucas, all of us here in some way have been connected to her and to Lyle because you guys were together all the time in some way or another. And so by all of that, she really showed her faith and love. She cared, she gave, she helped whenever you needed something. And so as I talked to them the other day, we talked to this, we're all very sad. 72 years, but we measure a life in what you do, and she had a lot of good years. And so today, as I visit with you, and I visit with family, I just want to share some of the stories. We thought maybe that'd be the best way, to share some of these stories of the joy and the gifts she gave us. And so today I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to share a few of these stories that kind of maybe help you remember your story too. Well, let me start here. Well, you all know Becky. She was born I hope you knew this, the first of all the kids. Back in Minnesota, I found out. Back in 1953 on January 22nd. She was the first child of Jackie and Jim. She was very close to her family. The whole family, as you all know, was raised over by Russell. And as I was talking to one of the sisters, it was down on the south side of, I think it was Prairie Street, somebody mentioned, down there. Not far from where Doc Herman and some of the other folks lived. She was the first and the oldest, but over the next few years, she would be blessed with some other siblings. The first was little Tony. I think it was 5 years. Am I getting this right? Sorry for giving your ages here, folks. It was Tony. And then after the next few years, we were blessed with Vicky, and then Brenda, but last but not least, Kyle. And I think if I heard this right, Kyle, is there like a 16 years age difference? Okay, so I figured that. So she's quite a bit older than me. And life was good for the whole family. And each and every sibling said Becky was really almost like a second mom to all of those siblings. She did a lot of taking care of those younger siblings. They told me some neat stories from back then when I talked to them the other day too. I think, Tony, you told me that when you came along, Becky was 5, but you said she decided to dress you in her doll's clothing. And Mom came and saw that and said, maybe we better change this. It was very cute. And you even said, when you got to see her in the hospital not long ago, you said, she looked up and says, I need to apologize for dressing you in those clothes. And you said, it's okay. And I know, Vicki, you can remember when you guys were little, and you said big sister Becky wanted to have tea. We all do that when we're kids sometimes. And she wanted to do it with the siblings. So she tried to get Mom's special China tea set. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I hope I get this right. It was in the bedroom closet, but Mom said, no, don't do that. I'm too busy. Now, Becky was a little persistent, they said. So it didn't deter her. So even though Mom was busy, she snuck back into the dining room there, or the bedroom, or the dining room, excuse me. She took a wooden chair. Hope I got the right part here. She put it in the bedroom up next to where the tea set was. Well, she got to thinking, and it wasn't quite tall enough. So she went back out and she got the living room ottoman, one of those little ottomans, and she sat it on the chair. And as Vicki said, she tried her hardest to reach with all she could to get up there to get the tea set down. Well, guess what? The worst case scenario happened. The ottoman fell off the chair, it slipped, and Becky slipped with it, and she accidentally hit her chin on that chair. Mom came flying in, and as Vicki said, initially Mom wasn't too happy, but she kind of laughed a little, and then there was a quick trip to the doctor to get stitches right after. And they still laugh about that, and she remembered that story too. As they all grew up, each of the kids went to school there in Russell. They made many friends. I heard they were well liked. And honestly, as I talked to a lot of people, I heard so many stories of the teachers and friends. Everybody knew them. In fact, I see out here, I hope it's okay, Mary Sandy, I know you got to teach her, and they mentioned your name the other day. So it's just neat with all the connections here. And so they grew up there, they enjoyed school. She loved school. I heard the teachers really liked her, and she liked to learn. She was very popular in high school and very active too, and liked to go socializing with her friends. And she was kind of somebody that liked to talk and visit a lot, I guess, when I understood it. I know, Brenda, you said another funny little story that I'd just like to share. You said there was one time she was with her friends, I'm not sure where that was, and she lost one of her contacts, one of those contacts for her eyes, just so to make sure. And they started looking for it, all the friends. Well, as they were looking for it so very hard, she actually found it. And she thought she'd play a little joke on them, so she put those hard contacts into her mouth to hide it so that they kept looking. And she got to laughing so hard, you can see Becky doing this, she swallowed it. I don't know how you do this, they told me. And they had several attempts to get it back out, but it didn't work. So I just thought that was pretty good. And some of their favorite things are just the family get-togethers and meals. Her mom was a great cook, just like Becky was. Some of their favorite pictures, and you've probably seen one, they showed me or told me one, is there's a picture, of course, Becky being the oldest, she's on the bottom, and all the way up, they're all stacked on top of each other. And I think how, yes, you were on top. And so all the kids, and they love that picture they can look at. Eventually, Becky would graduate, actually in 1971, and it was during that time she happened to meet a wonderful young man, older farm boy from Norwood, over by Norwood, who had went to Sheridan High School, and he had already graduated. His name was Becky Ehlers. We all know you, Lyle, he's a big guy. He had seen her one time in Sheridan, I think with a friend. She was with a friend, and it was at either a dance or a party. And you said, when you saw her, you knew. And you told me the beautiful brown eyes. And that's why we had the song, the Sweating Cotton. As you imagine, they started to talk, and they went out and they fell in love. And eventually Lyle asked her to marry him. And she accepted. And on July 10th, 1976, I heard it was maybe the hottest day in July that year. It was the bicentennial in the old United Methodist Church in Russell. They got married. And I think, was it red, white, and blue? I mean, those colors. I kind of thought that was so neat. And so again, a beautiful life of love together for almost 50 years. It wasn't too long after, in 1978, hope I got this right, they were blessed with something very important. Lindsay, you came along, and life was really good. They made their home out, the Norwood home area in the area. She would work at Hy-Vee offices in Sheridan for a long time. She eventually, I didn't realize it, Yonkers in Des Moines, and I heard she loved it on the floor and working with people. So she did that too after leaving Hy-Vee. And as we all know, you worked at John Deere, up in Des Moines, and life was good together. They spent so many beautiful days watching Lindsay grow up and enjoying all the school activities and being with family. And there was lots of get-togethers. There was with the get-togethers with Gert and Ron and Jackie and Jim and all the extended family. And a lot of you folks are here today. Lindsay said Mom and Dad was the best and was always there for school events, and they were always there to encourage no matter what. They were always there for her. I heard stories about the county fair, about showing things, and Mom working at the fair. She kept busy. She was on the fair board. As all of you know, Mom was also a really, really good cook, making the best homemade noodles. I think I heard something about blueberry muffins, maybe, the best. And she did all that. They were just awesome. And sometimes if you were privileged enough and someone was in need in the community, she would take you some cookies or something. There was not a time that if you stopped by, I heard too, that if she was home, she welcomed you to the table. And if there was food, you got some. And even when Lindsay went to school at UNI, her friends quickly found out that Becky was like a second mom to them too. In fact, I think you said one, Elisa, a roommate. That was one of your roommates at UNI, and you said that even to this day, your mom would text her or call her and just say, "How are you doing? Do you need something?" And that's just not the only one. Somebody on a cruise you guys met that you guys knew. So she knew everybody and checked up and cared. After Lindsay and Dan got married back in 2008 in Jamaica, Mom was excited to have a new addition to the family, and eventually her and Lyle were blessed with the most important things in their lives, the birth of their grandkids. First Lydia and little Noah, they're here. And today, they're in their teens, their grandpa and grandma were the light, they were the light of their lives. As they both retired, they had more time to spend with those special grandkids. She cherished the many vacations that the whole family would take. They went on cruises. I saw some of the pictures and they were so wonderful. They went to Colorado. I heard even a niece went, I think, one time to Colorado. It was called Camp Becky is what the niece told me. So that was cool. And I heard that on those cruises, like going to Dominican Republic or Aruba, it was always so much fun. And you guys told me too that you always had special shirts made. And I got to see some of them. There was a really cool pirate one. You guys had the bandanas and one eye. That was pretty cool. And then the shirt. But I also seen the one, I think that said best day ever. And it was. Now, Lindsay and Lyle did tell me that Mom maybe was the most crafty person. What do you mean that in making things crafty? Because she loved doing things with crafts. Oh my gosh, she painted, she made quilts. They showed me a house the other day, and I don't think there was an item there. It was everywhere. There was things painted or put up or wood. If she got an idea, she would do about anything. I heard that if something was on the side of the road, she stopped and could make it work. You know, sorry for saying that. She might pick it up. Or a thrift sale, if she found some old bed frames. In fact, somebody told me that. She took some bed frames and she had some wood and made a bench. And she painted. There were painted sleds, and there was Christmas colors on some of these sleds, and Santa painted on an old ironing board. You gotta see that, it's beautiful. There was bowling pins, I didn't even know you could paint bowling pins. And it was so neat. Whatever it was, she found a way to do it. I think Lindsay maybe called her mom the great recycler, because if she found anything that was old, she could make it new. And she could make it look beautiful. And she did that in our hearts too as a person. Now, Lyle did tell me that there were occasions that he might get roped into a project that he wasn't sure would work. Sorry, Lyle. But you always did it, you said. And I think I heard it was at least 80 or 90% of the time it worked. It was just the 10% you worried about. Sorry. But whatever idea she had, she was very persistent, and wow, you were there to help. It always turned out. And they always had special meaning too. I heard that whatever she made, she gave a lot away. And so for her, it was a meaning to had love in that craft, and it was able to help you or to give you something. Now, I also need to make sure I don't forget what Lydia and Nolan had told me. Lydia, you shared with me. I hope it's okay. They said they remembered so many times Grandpa and Grandma running up to watch their soccer games. I think you even said ice skating. Did you guys do? Yeah, and I thought that was cool. Up at Muscatine. And so many other things she was involved with. And you guys said you remembered, and I got to see this pictures, that when you were little, they came up for whose birthday? Was that their birthdays? It was Becky's birthday. So they were in the basement, and I got to see these wonderful pictures, and there's streamers, green streamers all the way up, and they did that in the morning. I don't think Grandpa and Grandma knew about it, maybe. You had no idea. And then you had your Nerf guns with the little ones, and you guys came up, and they got a target practice, and they got you, those little soft ones. And they got to have a lot of fun to wish you a happy birthday that morning. I think you were 4 or 5. The pictures are beautiful. And that fun and the memories. And even as you both got older, coming to Grandpa and Grandma's was really special. You got to make necklaces, and you still have a lot of your friends have those. And you got to maybe ride the gator or go to the pond. I heard some different stories. The Becky family and friends are so important. They gave meaning to life, and I think that's how her faith and her care was lived out best. Even in the last month and a half, which got harder, and the whole community surrounded them. This is a community that knows her, and they know her gift of love for them. Even though it was hard, she kept going. She was very persistent, and she didn't want you to worry about her. That was what I heard there were still friends that came down to see her. So this told you, and so many other friends in this community and others that called. And even though she was tired, she welcomed them. She welcomed the calls to be able to just share with them. She was still showing her love and care, even when it was pretty hard to do it. And if there's one thing, last thing, I think I need to share. I think I need to just mention this, of how much of a witness. I've known them all my life. I was little, and a while I remember you and Leon. I still get you two mixed up, sorry. But I still remember in 4-H and so many things, them being there, but what I needed to share is just not only how much they love their daughter and family and everybody around us, but the testament. Wow, I know you were up there all the time. You never left her. But I think what got me is that's just how they were. They never left each other. It's the best witness of a marriage of what God gives us to be together. So in the joy of all she's done for us, I think that's one of the things I guess we need to share. Is that when I see them, I hope I can be half the people they are in my life. As I close, just want you guys to know how much we all love you, all that you've done, and Becky and our community. And I think that's a testament here by all the people that are here, many that will come. And the last thing I share is just, I had a scripture earlier. I'm not a very good preacher. I just kind of say things. But I have to tell you this, it's, Jesus says and promises they'll carry all our burdens. And I know how hard it is, and we certainly today are going to lift up the joys because that's what she would want us to do. But I also share this as we lift her God. He's going to take care of her, and He's going to take care of us. He's a God that comes and holds us, forgives us, and gives us strength, even in these hard times. And so I want you to know, not only will God surround you, but all of us will today. I'd like to, the family wants to invite all of you. I think everybody, there's a visitation and a meal. They want you to feel free to just stay and be here to share with them. They love knowing that you came and they appreciate it so much. So we want to welcome you to do that after the service. But I want to offer a prayer as we close. And there's a special song. You'll kind of get why we're going here. She loved this song. I think you told me she played it a lot. It's going to be at the end. And so you've heard it, so we'll let that play. But would you mind if I just close with a prayer? Heavenly Father, we come together knowing you give us strength, you offer grace, you give us forgiveness of sins and eternal life by Jesus. And today I lift up to you a very special friend, with Becky, knowing you hold her, keep her. I also know that you'll be with this family, be with the grandkids, Lydia and Nolan and Lindsay and Lyle, and all the sisters and brother. Just keep them, guide them. You can tell they're a close family, but also keep us. But help us to remind ourselves that the most important thing is to remember how a person lives their life and sharing their love and grace like Christ will do. And she's done a great job. We just give you thanks. Help us to have that joy in our hearts to remind ourselves of all those special memories today. And it is that great gift that we give thanks for today, through Christ and through God. And I pray this in His name. Amen.
Thank you, Dave. On behalf of Lyle and Lindsay, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. It's nice to see everybody. And we know that Becky was the social butterfly, not Lyle. So that's it's hard to do this when we have so many people that love these guys. It's hard to do a receiving line. And so we're just going to mingle. And so instead of dismissing by rows, just mingle. There's food, kind of how we normally have it set up in the next 3 rooms. So just help yourselves. There's good stuff, maybe not as good as Becky's, but that's pretty good. So instead of the line, we're just gonna let the family kind of go out first and get comfortable, and then you guys all visit with each other. So thank you.
Thank you.